Hey everyone, Matthew here. Thanks for tuning in to another video. I got a great video for you here today that you're going to absolutely love, I promise. If you can stick through it, it will be very beneficial for you, beneficial for me to review it again. And stick through it, I promise you're going to love it. It's going to be great. And as in the title, it is How the Great Transform to Be the Best. We should all try to be our best in all our industries, abilities, and whatever we're trying to accomplish with our goals. And that comes from practicing new behaviors is vital to becoming the best at what we do. New behaviors. Often people attend seminars, conferences, educate themselves in many different ways, but fail to actually try and practice the new skills that they have been taught. Only a fraction of people and professionals actually apply what they studied. Even professionals, people that are highly successful, they go and learn new things in seminars, and then most of them do not apply what they have learned. When leaders combine too much motivation and too few opportunities to improve ability, they don't produce change and then create resentment and depression. Influence masters typically take the opposite track by over-investing in strategies that increase ability and avoid trying to solve ability problems with stronger motivational techniques. Much of perfecting skill is practice, and to make things happen, it takes a priming of practicing the skills needed to achieve these goals. Perfect practice makes perfect. There is little evidence that people who achieve exceptional performance ever do so by any means other than carefully guided practice. Perfect practice. It is almost never a matter of genetics, but knowing how to enhance your skills through deliberate practice. Let's use ice skaters as an example. Figure skaters. An Olympic hopeful, people that are on top of their game, the Olympians, work on skills they have not yet mastered, while a club skater, someone, the people just below that level, in contrast, work on skills they've already mastered. They continue to work on things they're already kind of great at and think they just have to continue to work on those to get better. Amateur skaters will tend to spend half their time just chatting on the rink and not practicing at all. So you can see here how practicing makes a difference and how each level of success in this example gives different results. Ice skaters who spend the same amount of hours on the ice achieve very different results, as I said, because they're practicing in very different ways. This applies to any skill at all, any business at all. Whatever you need to learn, you must do it in the best way to achieve the results. As I said, they are putting in the same amount of hours of practice, but they are having highly different results. And most people will assume this is because they are, genetically got the abilities. They're already born with, these abilities in them. Another example to use is a basketball player. While great players will try to improve their free throw percentages, how many free throws they got 15 out of 20 this game, they want to get 16 or 17 out of 20 now, from now on and going forward. Where the best will improve on their tucking their elbow in, remembering to tuck their elbow in, where to place it, and improving their follow through like that, because that will improve your shot, and that's what's going to get you to be a better shooter, and that will get you a better free throw percentage or free throw shots throughout the game, and just becoming better in that way. So this is why even the very best in their industries have coaches, mentors, or professionals they listen to. Just like the very best athletes, Michael Jordan, everyone, whoever was the best at, for athletes, have a coach, and have a coach that they're listening to every single day, non-stop. Motivation is one thing with a coach and mentor, but giving you the specific tasks to work on and how to improve is what is making them into becoming the best at what they do. So they may have some skill, but need the knowledge to become the best or better at what they're doing. This is why you need to listen to fewer people and listen to the most successful, knowledgeable, and enlightened in your industry for your goals you want to tackle. You listen to the best. And that does not mean you should never listen to, everyone in some sort of way, because you can learn from everyone. I've learned from, kids. I learned from 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, watching them and analyzing situations. You can learn from absolutely everyone. So that's definitely not what I'm saying here. But when it comes down to learning specific goals, you should listen to the ones that have achieved the success you want. Not all practice is good practice. Simple tasks reach their highest level of proficiency after about only 50 hours of practice. We can then execute them with minimal effort, but typically further development stops. This is like when people become a professional, or they're kind of great at what they do, or they're kind of up there in their level of degree of success, they end up stopping to learn more, to educate themselves more, and applying it because your ego's taking over and you think you're already great, and you maybe will just practice those same things because you're like, this is where I got to being here, this is what keeps me in the game. But that is also preventing you from, again, becoming the very best. So only 50 hours it takes to kind of master the simpler tasks. And we assume we've reached our highest performance level and don't think we need to learn new methods, like I said. So we'll stop learning. And I've done this very much in my life. I still do it because of old habits and patterns sometimes, where because you're kind of doing good, you kind of have an understanding. You'll maybe look at someone who's better and you're like, oh, I can do that. I understand where he's going with that, so it's like I can apply it. I don't need him to tell me how to do it. Like, I'm already doing good, and I see where he's going with that, so I can apply it in my own way. I'll figure it out, or whatever. And you go through the school of hard knocks, and you're usually going to go through a lot of failures. So you don't want to go down that path. That's just your ego taking over, destroying our beautiful progression from unfolding. Deliberate practice requires complete attention, and that's going to be my next video tomorrow. So make sure you tune into that one, where having focus is so important to staying on your pathway. When you get that information to know, do this A, B, C, D, E, F, if you follow that 100% and don't go off track, you're probably going to do that and accomplish it, and that's how you move in leaps and bounds. So instead of you go to A, B, you have some failure, some things come up, some emotions, so then it's like, I'm going to stop, or I'm going to go try something else, or your emotions and thoughts are dictating what you're doing at this point, instead of you staying the course and doing exactly what you should have done. And especially in this day and age with technology, there's so much noise, there's so much information, there's so much opportunities. It's very easy to get distracted, to move on when you have some sort of stall or failure of what you're doing. And that's again why you need your coaches to tell you, do it this way, stick to this way. When you come down, they'll tell you no, keep going, you got to achieve this, keep working on that, then you're going to be on to the next one. So keep that in mind. Next thing is, receiving frequent feedback is far more important than practicing at all. This is how, again, you will make leaps and bounds. Some coaches or mentors will charge very high amounts of money for consultation. Could be upwards of $25,000 and $50,000 just for a phone call. Most people will think this is insane. Who would spend that much for just a little bit of information? And the phone call could just even entail 1 or 2 simple sentences, 1 or 2 simple tasks where they tell you, do this and do this only, and you're going to achieve what you need to achieve. And you should be focused on that to get your performance. Majority of people will they'll call it a rip off, they won't do it, it's not worth it. But these people that are charging us, they already know that it's only one step you need to take, this step to accomplish what you need to do. If you just stick to this, you're going to move on to this level, and then you worry about the next thing. And they know where it's that will pay for your 25. It's nothing, because if you actually do this and accomplish this, it's like, you're going to become your professional athlete. You're going to get your goal, your great, fantastic goal you want. You're going to make millions of dollars with this, if you actually apply it. And it does. I've seen such young people who really do apply this and really do go to professionals, stick to exactly what they do. They don't do what they want, they do what they need to do. And highly, highly successful people in their early 20s, where it's unbelievable how much success they've achieved, but they're listening to professionals, they're applying it completely, wholeheartedly, and they fly in life. They absolutely fly. It's unbelievable. Next thing is to set mini goals for yourself and have someone of importance, a professional, a mentor that's highly educated in what you're trying to accomplish of your goal, and getting them to direct specific feedback on what you need to improve. Work on that and master that small task. Then you are on to the next one and becoming a master at the big picture. So it's all about working on that small task, mastering that one, moving on to the next one, mastering that one. And again, when you're listening to these professionals or coaches, you're going to master them faster than you could ever imagine imagine on yourself. It's gonna be the fastest, because they know the fastest route. If you just stick to it and you don't let your mind to play games with you, you're gonna achieve it so quickly. It's gonna be unbelievable. Next thing is to prepare yourself for failures and to build your resilience. During the early part of your journey, working on many goals and having success, you may find that you are used to success and completion. So if you actually apply these things right from the get-go, and they could be working, you could be like hammering out one task or the other, becoming really great, having loads of success for like years, and never really had any failures. And that could hurt you. So you have to set yourself up to be prepared for this, because you will have failures, you will have setbacks, you will have times when you stall, because these are new things. Even when you're guided by a professional, these things can still very well come up, because you still got to twerk it out for yourself. So prepare yourself for failure. It's great that you're having the success. Have as much success. Maybe you'll have just complete success, and that's wonderful. But you need to prepare yourself. Even if you had success for 15, 20 years, prepare yourself for that failure, because when that failure comes and you've been so used to success, it may be hard to, stomach or handle. And if you've only faced success for, a good amount of time, then failures will be very discouraging when they arise, and could cause, you to give up, be depressed. It could hurt you. A short history of easy success can create a false expectation that not much effort is required. Then when problems come up, they will discourage you and you'll give up, right? So remember that. It's just, again, your ego thinking that you do everything right and you're never going to have any trouble because, you're such a smart, special person, which is not going to be the case. You'll be humbled one day, definitely, for sure. But if you're ready for it, it's all good, and you're just going to keep hammering it out until you figure it out and do it the right way and stick to it. And on that note, remember, effort, persistence, and resiliency are eventually rewarded with success. This is proven over and over again, where, again, effort and persistence will always show success down the road. So you keep at it, you keep working on it, you're going to accomplish it, you're going to get that success, and you're going to be on to the next stage of your life. So to prepare for that also is you need to learn emotional skills, how to control your emotions and how to stay on the path you intended to. Again, like I was talking about, like staying on A, B, C, D, keeping the noise out, and then again, keeping your emotions and thoughts out, outside sources, ones that come in and play tricks on you, that trigger you to, stop and to deter off from your path. That's the pathway to where you want to go. So throughout the process, again, we can be triggered by many different circumstances. When we have a control on our emotions do not dictate our decisions. I talked about this a lot. Controlling your emotions is so, so important. You do not want fear, worry, depression, all these emotions to come up and to those are going to bring you down and to change your pathway. So do not let these things dictate your decisions and your choices in life. So when you know how to control your emotions, those are just you're only going to stick with great emotions, high positive emotions. Those things are just it's nothing in life. So another tip to help prevent our emotions from causing us to act up is to remember our brain has two systems to it: a go system and a delay system. If we could turn our attention to the delaying our temptations, our actions when triggered by emotional circumstances, then often we can keep delaying and allow that triggering emotions and thoughts to pass. The longer you can delay it, the easier it is to push it away and have it pass, which is perfect. They may come up, but we can not allow them to dictate, and we can allow them to exit eventually if they're strong like that. So the longer we can delay, the easier it will be to prevent ourselves from taking that unbeneficial action. When dealing with our complex tasks, give you a little overview of what we just discussed. When dealing with our complex tasks, goals, and everything we want to accomplish, and how to resolve our persistent problems, demand more from yourself than achievement levels you reach after minimal effort. Instead, practice new and more vital behaviors, habits, and patterns. Devote attention to clear, specific, and repeatable actions. Make sure the actions are recognizable and replicable. Seek outside help and insist on them to give you immediate feedback. That is so vital. Break tasks into specific actions and set goals for each of them. Make sure to apply these physical, intellectual, and even complex social skills. Many behaviors required to solve complex problems demand advanced interpersonal skills, problem-solving skills that can only be mastered through research and deliberate practice. So lots of information here for you guys. I know it was a ton maybe to take in, but such powerful stuff. If you actually practice this stuff, you stick to the end of the video, because again, you do not let things dictate you from stopping you what you chose to do in the first place. So most of this topic came from the book Influencer: The Power to Change Anything. That's where I got a lot of these little tidbits of information. So apply these, guys. Tell me what you guys think. I love this topic. It's amazing. If you apply these things, I guarantee you're going to have absolutely astonishing success. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. We'll see you guys on the next video.